Today I got to ride my 40-year-old Gs1100E Suzuki, and at the time that I bought it new in 1982, it was a contender for Superbike of the Year. Back then, superbikes were a lot different. They were a lot like motorcycles that you were supposed to ride, not really racetrack-focused machines like we have today. And this bike did not disappoint any time in those 40 years. So today the weatherman says 50-50 chance of rain by lunchtime, so what we're going to try to do is get out of here early and do some planting in the afternoon. We'll do the veggies. We usually break it up, veggies one day, flowers one day, and we want to get the veggies into the ground. And it won't even hurt if it's raining while I'm planting, but I'd rather have the dry time while I'm riding a bike. And step one is what I do best, moving motorcycles all over the place, playing musical chairs, and I just wish I had a bigger garage. You know what? I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest. And after 40 years of owning this GS, and I of course have other bikes in my collection, but the GS always has a special place in my heart. And I can remember the day I bought this and having that feeling like I was the king of the road. And hey, we checked the weather here. It doesn't look real promising, but we're going to go anyway. And we're going to plant this afternoon when we get back. But I don't want to go riding out on a dirty motorcycle. I never do. And no matter how old the bike gets and no matter how many bugs there are, and we are in the bug season, keeping that bike clean is always job one for me. Today I'm heading up to one of my absolute favorite areas that I like, up where the lakes are, around Facing Lakes. And this is a wonderful area to just go cruising around on a GS. It couldn't be any nicer than today. Now this area is very hilly, very back roady, and usually very low traffic, and it's littered with beautiful little lakes, beautiful little crossings of the lake, and the scenery changes almost on a daily basis this time of year. Now, because this is basically a bike I don't have a radar detector on, I tend to be a little more conservative than with the bikes that I can carry the radar detector. But in this area, they have found some pretty sneaky places to hide, and without that radar detector, boy, are you vulnerable. And every one of these lakes is unique and different, and some beautiful houses, little cottages and everything. And every time I go there's people walking dogs, and they're always friendly. Whenever I've taken pictures, they always stop and look at the motorcycle, and I don't know, they're just a nice little place to be riding the GS. last winter, Pokey got me brand new EBC floating disc with a nice little upgrade. Joe Padula donated some steel braided lines, another nice little upgrade. And the brakes, front and rear, right now on this bike, they're perfect for a bike in this era. And they're not like a modern bike, but they certainly are good. And the lines made it better. Now, this is an exhaust system from an 86 that I got from the late Frank Straub off of his bike when he upgraded to some kind of an exhaust. I don't know, but he gave me this one. And it's just a little louder than the stock one, and I do have the stock exhaust. But I kind of like the little extra rumble with this exhaust, and it's not offensive in these populated areas. Now, we just posted not that long ago another engine polishing video, and there's 2 or 3 of them now that specifically for this engine. There's a couple for the RD engine. They're both basically the same, no polishing the aluminum and then keeping it polished. That's always the trick, is not to neglect it. And I just love this bike. Anytime you go through the gears, you can short shift, take it all the way up to redline. It doesn't really matter. It's such a broad, wide range of torque. And back in this day, they hadn't invented small little bikes that had to be revved to 14,000 yet. Now, because I have 2 GS1100s, I'm able to swap parts like the wheels, the bodywork, and various parts that I want to go back and forth just to make the bike different from year to year. And this bike is a perfect candidate. It was one of my first evil twins. It is one of my favorite little sections coming down off the top of the mountain. And there's some real sharp hairpin turns here, and they really sneak up on you. And when there's some gravel on the road or some salt, this can really ruin your whole day. But today, the roads were clean, and actually the sun started coming out at one point in the ride. Amazing. This is a bike that I always call the thing I always call some of the bikes I have, and this is one of them. It's an all-weather fighter. It's great on Route 80. It's great on back roads. It's great if it rains. It doesn't really matter. It just handles any condition really well. again, a lot of the little upgrades that I've made, like the steel brake lines and the new discs, they all contribute to keeping a bike that's 40 years old. I don't want to just keep it like a trailer queen. I want to ride the bike, and I want to ride it the way I want to ride it, and I want to know it's reliable. And one thing about the bike that really impressed me the most of anything is how well the suspension, after 40 years, the air forks, they don't leak a bit. They hold the setting. The shock is still good. It's just a good quality stuff. I always say the best thing you can ever say about a motorcycle, especially one you know intimately, had many years, is it's fun to ride. Because some bikes that I've had and over the years, they did that, but they really weren't that much fun to ride. This one is. And when I painted the wheels, this set of wheels I painted black, made sure we had the orange-red stripe that matches the decals on the tank. And Karen was very helpful about getting that paint to match, and we spent a lot of time getting it exactly right. But in the final product, when I sit taking pictures of it, to me it looks very nice. Today is the day we're going to do some planting. Usually we get about half of it done, the veggies or the flowers. You never know. The weather seems to have held up. It didn't, not a drop of rain. In fact, the sun came out. And so I'm sure Karen's going to be all set to plant the minute we get home. And I'm looking forward to getting our garden. Once it's planted in and all I have to do is water it, changes everything. But this was a really nice day, and it'll be good to get home, except for the fact it's Route 80. Well, this was a beautiful day, and it's great. The only thing we want to do now, we want to plant our garden or get some part of it planted, take advantage of the rest of the day. It was a perfect day to be out on the GS. Just couldn't be nicer. And today's the day we start our planting for the year. What a beautiful day this is going to be. This is about as much fun as you can have when you're a farmer. And when these plants start taking over, you look back at today and you think, oh, where did it come from? Well, little by little, they're going in. It's hard to believe. This is one of Karen and I's favorite things, the planting day. A farmer's work is never done. Hey, this went pretty smooth though. And boy, is it fun doing the harvest every day. And the best part of every farmer's day, watering everything in. Oh yeah. Karen is very happy the way this played out. Actually played out pretty good today. We got everything planted. So I hope you have enjoyed coming along on a ride with us, and it was a sweet day. That Faison area is just, Faison Lakes area is just beautiful. There's a lot of back roads, and again, there's a lot to like up there, especially the scenery if you're looking to get some nice pictures of your bike. Now, it would have even been better if the sun was bright, but we didn't lose anything. To me, even a day like this when it's going to potentially rain, I still want to get the ride in, because you never know when the rain is really going to come, and you wake up in the morning and it's already pouring. So we try to take advantage of every day we can, and we try to share every ride we can with you, and hope you enjoy the videos, watching them as much as we enjoy making them. And thanks so much for watching.